How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing? Nah, the problem wasn't my sleep schedule. I didn't have internet, so I had big storms in my area today, so the Wi-Fi went out. So nothing you can do about that. It's a Souls-like? I don't think this is a Souls-like. It's more of a shitty Nier Automata clone from the looks of it. Let's see. SSS?
Either subscribe, donate,
Should I play
or get
Crisis
the fuck out.
Core before Rebirth? Yeah, if you've already played Remake, I would. Definitely play Crisis Core before Rebirth. You'll miss out on a lot of references if you don't play Crisis Core. A streamer not using wired internet? It doesn't matter if you use wired internet or not. I am using wired internet if you zoom in the corner of my screen, but the thing is wired internet only works if your router is still getting internet, which, yeah, if you're not getting any signal to your router, it doesn't matter. No, Crisis Core doesn't spoil Part 3. Dude, Crisis Core is literally the prequel to Final Fantasy VII. The game literally ends right where Final Fantasy VII begins, or Rebirth begins. More specifically, because they redid the scene to basically be the exact same. So, no, it's like the exact, like, beginning point of Remake is where Crisis Core ends. And the nice thing is Crisis Core is pretty short too, so you can kind of just fly through it. It's not very long. But definitely pay attention to the story, because you'll pick up on a lot of shit in Rebirth. Did they even allow reviews before the launch of this? Nope, they did not. Interesting. That's not a good sign. You don't allow any reviews the day before launch? Like, it comes out in 7 hours. And there's no reviews online for it. So that probably means that it's not too good. But no clue. I want to see a boss fight with the compilation Turks in Part 3. The remakes reference them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff they can include. That, you know, they've already said basically the Knights of the Round are going to be boss fights. You know, obviously they have all the weapons they have to do boss fights with. There's a lot of new areas they're adding. So... I don't know, man. It seems like Part 3 is going to be a fucking massive game, which they've already said, like, it's going to be a bigger open world than the Rebirth one. But with less Ubisoft open world activities. Final Fantasy VII remakes are the MCU for 40-plus-year-old weebs. Dude, I hate to break it to you, but the MCU audience is also 40-plus years old. Forgot to pay my bills? Nah, it's on auto pay, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the bills get paid around here. I wish I had that money laying around. I'd buy more slabs. But no, I actually just bought an expensive card today, so I gotta chill for a while. SNK nostalgia with the 2. The fatigue is real. Shit. Indeed, man. Indeed it is. PlayStation has game sharing, man. You just set your friend's console as your home console, and they set your console is their home console, and then you can share each other's games. That's already a thing.
I can't afford this shit!
Yeah, apparently in Part 3 you're going to be able to go back to Midgar. And Rebirth you're not allowed to. But yeah, in Part 3 you go back to Midgar. Supposedly. We'll see.
I can't afford this shit!
See, Aerith the Queen with the 2. I like the Series X because the backwards games. Yeah, that's really the only selling point at this point. Not really any other reason to buy an Xbox currently. Final Fantasy VIII card game? What was that called? Triple Triad or something like that? I forgot. I think it was Triple Triad. Sounds right. No, in 8, not 7. 7, yeah, Queen's Blood, but Final Fantasy VIII, I think it's Triple Triad. Yeah, I'm not big on card games either. I'm not big on card games either. Let's see, El Rosario sold with the 6 months. Appreciate it, man. Gooning hours. Brute, yeah. Exactly. 5 a.m. freak off, dude. But appreciate it, bro. Yeah, the only way me and my friends ever played the Pokemon TCG is whoever had the highest HP won. That was it. The Pokemon TCG sucked, man. I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh was way better. Like, why the fuck do you want to use energies and shit like that? Like, gay? Yu-Gi-Oh was way more fun. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was good up through 5Ds. After 5Ds, shit. Like, synchros were already kind of pushing it, where it's like, alright, bro, this is getting a little fucking crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. After that, it just really went to shit. So, it's unfortunate, because I used to really like playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to go to card shops in my area and play Yu-Gi-Oh! With my friends, so... We used to do, like, the whole Saturday Yu-Gi-Oh! Games and shit like that. I mean, I never, like, won any tournaments or anything, but it was still fun. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was cool. I always like the artwork on Yu-Gi-Oh! Better. Like, it's more mature looking in a lot of cases. You know, obviously, Dark Magician Girl is looking fully developed, especially in the Japanese art. Yeah, there's just way too many cards now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. You have to basically get a full-time job dedicated to learning every single fucking card effect. So, it's one of those games that doesn't scale well. Which, you know, for a company that's trying to just maximize how much fucking money, you know, you can make by printing new cards constantly isn't ideal, but... yeah. It's kind of one of those catch-22 type situations. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because, you know, one of the biggest criticisms everybody has for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, oh, they overprint everything. And, you know, there's too many reprints, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, really the only way to stop shit like the shitty pendulums and XYZs and all that bullshit that came after was for them to just basically reprint everything over and over and over again and keep like that initial batch of cards as like the way to play. But I don't know, what they should have done is hired like artists and shit to come in and do alternate artworks, but they never.
All right, awesome, thanks nigga. All right,
which is weird, because that would have solved a lot of the problems. But I don't know. Dark Magician Girl was the first girl to make me feel things. Yeah, Dark Magician Girl and then May and Dawn from Pokemon were my first, like, you know, I guess, I don't want to say like sexual awakening moments, but it was like one of those moments where it was like, yup, I ain't gay. So it cemented the fact that I was indeed straight. Because it's not like as a 5-year-old I was like gooning or anything like that, but you know. Yeah, it definitely scratched an itch in my brain I didn't know was there. Let's see, SNK Nostalgia with the 2 no card shops, just attractive women back then. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess maybe that's the ideal outcome, but none for me, bro. It was just the card shops. I remember, like, one of my friends used to get pissed off because I always wanted to go to, like, this comic store near his house. So, like, whenever I'd go over there, I'm like, bro, we gotta go. Because I wanted to go, like, browse their Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. So it was kind of interesting back then, because, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was actually a bigger deal in my area. Like, even with as popular as Pokemon was, like, it was very hard to find stores that would dedicate space to selling Pokemon singles because nobody played the game. So the stores would charge you like $10 on Saturday to come in and play and like compete in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments and stuff like that. So they had incentives to you know, put out like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards on display in the display case, and they had like a huge section. They had like some Pokemon stuff, but it was like the really cheap singles, which by modern standards would be like tens of thousands of dollars, but back then they were like 30, 40 bucks. And it was like maybe the higher end, like full arts and, you know, gold stars and level X's and stuff like that. And they were like at most 30 bucks. But there was a very small section for Pokemon. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was way more popular at the time, especially from a playability standpoint. Let's see, Aerith the Queen with the 5, watch, okay. Peak Male Fantasy, it's crazy, it was Xbox exclusive. PS Stardust Dragon is peak. I like Red Dragon Archfiend better, but yeah, Stardust Dragon's pretty nice. I like Ancient Fairy Dragon and Red Dragon Archfiend better though. Particularly Red Dragon Archfiend. Thought it looked cooler back then. If you play the video game, oh, what, Yu-Gi-Oh? What, Master Duel? Yeah, I've tried Master Duel, bro. It fucking sucks. You get, like, killed in one fucking round. Yeah, nah. That shit's way too autistic. Master Duel is, like, literally just, yeah, Asian autism simulator. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2, I've collected 9 Poonwag. There you go, man. Nice. Yeah, synchros are very aesthetically pleasing. Like the white card, yeah, they look good. I still want to get a secret rare magic cylinders at some point, but they're pretty pricey now. Yu-Gi-Oh shot up recently. Like Dark Magician Girl First Edition secret rare for a long time was just sitting at 9K. I think it's like 40 grand now, so missed the boat on that one.
I can't afford this shit!
guess it won't let me open it. Yeah, this guy has his listed for 70 grand. See, the problem is with the English one is it kind of sucks compared to the Japanese. So that's the English first edition from Magician Force. This is like 40 grand now. But if you look at the Japanese one, it's the I'm trying to remember the code for it. Is it G3? The Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is labeled very oddly. Oh, P4. That's what it was, not G. But yeah, compare... Here, I'll just pull this up real quick for illustrative purposes. But yeah, compare the Japanese version of Dark Magician Girl to the English. You'll notice something's missing. So, yeah. SNK nostalgia with the two, scalping will always be legal, if not racist. That's right, dude. I don't really have a problem with scalping, to be honest, you know? Especially on non-essential items, like fucking trading cards, like, that's not that big a deal. Like, you know, nobody's living or dying based off their ability to get cheap Pokemon cards. Now, if you're scalping shit like... you know, penicillin or something like that that's actually like life-saving, then yeah, that's pretty fucked. You know, like that I have a problem with. But fucking consumer goods, like fucking Pokemon cards, video games, sports cars, CDs, like who cares? Like, yeah, nobody's life is changing by not getting those. You will survive.
Can't afford this shit!
Alright, I'll take that. What's this? A deposit hit my bank account. Oh, yeah. Nice. I needed that. Greedy capitalist goy. Okay. No, the 2,500 hit from a sale of a card, so even better than my 7K from Israel.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Another deposit hit my bank. Okay. My Kick streaming revenue. I should have another deposit hit the bank account too. I cashed out my winnings on power packs on GameStop.
I can't afford this
Which
shit.
is like $500, but not too much money. $25K? Nah, I only got 2,500. I had this one card I sold for 4,500. The dude only had 2K in cash, so he gave me 2,500 on PayPal. So you have to wait till the weekend's over for the PayPal deposit to hit your bank. So. I wish it was a 25K card. That'd be great. You know? That sure would be swell. But yeah, I sold a $4,500 card for a $5,500 and then bought a $5,500 card. So, technically I'm down.
I can't afford this shit. I can't afford this shit.
There we go. Oh, that works. Let's see. So, SNK Nostalgia with the 2. I hope the fall of the Beanie Babies happens again. How much further can they fall, though? The closest thing to Beanie Babies, I would say, was those stupid Labubus, where people were spending, like, thousands of dollars on these fucking cheap Chinese mass-produced, you know, garbage. And everybody lost their fucking ass on those. So, that's probably the closest thing to Beanie Babies, I would say. That or Funko Pops. And rare Jordans. Yeah, the fucking shoe market's dead right now. SDK Nostalgia, the two people are dumb enough to buy. Yeah, they are, bro. That's the thing. All you're doing by scalping is connecting a buyer and a seller. So, if people aren't buying, nobody can scalp. It's literally impossible without somebody like willingly purchasing it on the other end. So, it's just like Walmart buys all their shit from China, marks it up 5 to 10 times, and sells it in store. And people are willing and happy to go and buy it. So, same premise.
I can't afford this shit!
I thought I equipped this. I don't know why I didn't save. This shit looks way better. The Tech Marine class is actually pretty decent. I don't really understand the ultimate ability, but I don't know. It seems to be alright. It's a good backup. Let's see, a VTubing enthusiast with the 8 months. What is the least and most attractive of each race? Well, white women are obviously the most attractive, and I would say black women are the least attractive. But if you ask Richard Nixon, it's Indian women.
Ugh.
But yeah, I don't know. I would say that's where I would put
I
it.
can't afford this shit!
I don't really feel like many people's answers would differ on that. I'm pretty sure that's like even a statistically true fact. White women on average are the most attractive, and black women are the least attractive. So, it's not even a unique take. Unless you're Richard Nixon, but you know. They didn't have the same obesity epidemic back then, so maybe his opinion would change. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2, bro. Wait, hold on. Shit, I misread that. Do you want my $80,000 Neo Geo AES collection? I mean, if you're offering it for free. But nah, I'm good, man. I don't have anywhere to store a game collection. Even if I did want it, I couldn't do anything with it other than stick it in a box. So, it's better off not in my hands. I went by my storage unit, actually, yesterday. And, yeah, it's just... I have way too much stuff. I was like, oh, maybe I'll like grab some of these like collection boxes that I could sell.
Awesome. Thanks, nigga.
And it's like I couldn't even find the box they're in, so yeah, it's getting bad. I've got too much stuff. The storage unit's even getting full at this point.
I can't afford this shit!
Easy. What about second and third? What, storage units or something else? No, I think Scandinavian women are probably the most attractive whites. Scandinavian women, I would say, are probably the hottest whites, but especially if they're tall. Well, the attractive Russian women have Scandinavian, like, genealogy. The unattractive Russian women are the Slavs. So, it's kind of a dependency on how much Slavic versus, you know, Western European, you know, Anglo or Scandinavian genealogy you have for Russian women. That determines how hot they are. You know, otherwise you're gonna get the babushka build. Where she's built like a potato. Dude, everybody prefers light skin. That's the thing, is, you know, the most conventionally attractive people of any race are the ones with the lightest skin. Like, light-skinned Asians are considered the most beautiful. You know, light-skinned whites are usually considered the most beautiful. Light-skinned black women are considered the most beautiful. Light-skinned Indians are considered the most beautiful. Light-skinned Latinas are considered the most, like, it's just a universal thing. So there's a reason why in non-white countries skin whitening cream is like one of the most popular products. In Africa, in, you know, Asia, in South America, in India, all of those places, skin whitening cream is like a multi-$10 billion industry. Like, it's huge. So well, even low-tier God talks about his peanut butter complexion. So that's just another term for light skin, so let me scroll over here and refresh the super chats because they are dead. There we go. Juan the 2, what is this? I see a fucking
Scalping. Now it's
oh my god, cartoon slop. I think that sums up the anti-scalping crowd pretty well. Autists that use cartoons to express themselves. SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Anywho, my stonks is up by 11% this quarter. Nice, man. Let's see what my portfolio of card shekels are up. About what? 25%? Not too bad. And wing cake with the 2. We'll see if we have time for videos. I don't know. I wasn't really planning on watching videos. If these are short, then maybe. I guess, yeah, that's fine. And then... oh boy, we're getting into more disc shit. Everyone's favorite topic. Let me see, as long as it's short. Yeah, I guess that's fine. An SNK Nostalgia with the 2. You're poor and Mo soundboard time. Alright, here, I'll just put my fist on the soundboard and whatever it presses will be it.
I was going to say, about words, you write all of your money.
There we go.
Ask real fucking questions, racist bigots, and don't be a fucking pussy, because you're a bigoted asshole too. Fuck you.
And Trent with the 5, if you never sold a bag of chips for $20 to somebody who can't speak English, you're not on the level of scalping. That's pretty based, honestly. Non-English speakers can get bent. Take advantage of their illiteracy. That's the morally correct thing to do. Welcome to America, motherfucker. But yeah. That's the correct thing to do. VTubing enthusiast of the 2, least and most attractive. Well, we already talked about whites. Asians, I would say most attractive is Japanese women, I would say overall. Least attractive would be... I don't know, like, I guess South/Southeast Asia. I don't really know too much about the discernible differences, but yeah, South Asia area. And then for black women, I don't know most attractive, but least attractive is definitely Somalis. They're all inbred cousin fuckers, so yeah. What, Latinas? I would say probably the most attractive are Argentinians, and the least attractive are like Peruvians or something like that. Obviously just the more European, the better. And then... is there any others? I don't think so. I think that's everything, right? I think that covers it. SNK Nostalgia with the 2. Pink P is beautiful. Yeah, honestly, that's my litmus test. If the nips aren't pink, you know, no thanks. Pink nipples only, bro. And that way you're covered. And Construct's Workshop with the two white German and Egyptian women are attractive. Yeah, the non-Arab Egyptian women can be very attractive. I agree. But yeah, German women, obviously, you know. Imagine a world where a bottom tier chick in Europe was an 8 out of 10, blonde hair, blue-eyed, you know, German. That's what Uncle H wanted us to have. Shit. What if we lived in a world where attractive women were loyal to their men and, dude, read the Greek epics, read any ancient world text, read any literature from the Middle Ages. You will learn one thing, bro. These hoes ain't loyal. Doesn't matter what time period, what circumstances, even when women were literal property, barely above the level of a slave, they did cheat. So, unfortunately, that's just female nature. So, I mean, bro, even Tom Brady got fucking cheated on. The dude worth almost $1 billion, you know, elite level athlete, probably the best football player of the modern era. Even his fucking wife cheated on him. So, what hope do you have as a normal man? None. SNK nostalgia with the two best girlfriend of all time was blue-eyed German Pink P. Hell yeah, dude. Understandable, dude. You know, I wish I could relate, but all I can be like is...
What's that line? Not like everybody knows what that's like at all, huh? Gee, what's that line?
The only thing I have blue-eyed is a Blue Eyes White Dragon, dude. Hell yeah. I've been condemned to a fate of collecting children's cardboard.
I can't afford this shit!
Oh shit. No. There we go. This is the closest I'm getting to my blonde Aryan queen, bro. This is all I can hope for. A blonde-haired chick of the cardboard variety. Yeah, this is the only 10 I'll ever be with. There we go. Do I have anything else? Have endured a fair share of compilation. Maybe, you know. But I don't like to think about what happened before I bought them. They get wiped down with a Lysol wipe, so that's the best I can do. An SNK nostalgia with the 2. Hey Griffin, I felt sad once. I'm sorry, man. Was it when the German girl left your life? Well, I have raw copies of that card too, so I could always just put a regular copy in the back of my phone case versus cracking the slab.
All right, awesome. Thanks, nigga. All right.
VTubing enthusiast with the 5. If you had to choose, would you rather have a son like Raymond? I would never have a son like Raymond. It's not possible. Or a slutty daughter, and why? What if the daughter only dated within a race? Again, I would never have a daughter that didn't do that, but anyway, let's just say hypothetical. Yeah, I'd pick the slutty daughter, bro. Because one, at least the slutty daughter is likely to have kids. And, you know, wouldn't be a complete waste of oxygen crying on the internet for money, so... Raymond's son or OF? Dude, I'd pick OF daughter any day of the week. Any day of the fucking week, I'd pick an OnlyFans daughter. So, that wouldn't even, like, take thought. Like, forget about Raymond rope maxing. If that was my son acting that way on the internet, I would want to kill myself. Out of a sense of deep-rooted failure. Like, I would feel terrible if my kid turned out that way. So, you know, at least the cope with the OnlyFans daughter is, oh, she's making a shit ton of money, and, you know, she's just, you know, leaning into her primal desires, like, you know, whatever. Like, that's an easier cope than, yeah, my 40-year-old failure to launch son who was an alcoholic for 10 fucking years, who rants and raves on the internet about what of a fucking failure he is in life, how much he wants to fucking rope, you know, begging for money, refuses to work, goons over every woman that has, you know, a pulse. Like, that's even way more depressing. I'm sorry. Like, the OnlyFans daughter is more easy to cope with. Like, that's not really that hard to get over. No, it's even worse, SNK. His dad is a mod in his chat on stream. Like, so his dad witnesses all of this shit firsthand. It's even worse than not having a dad around. His dad is quite literally one of his moderators on his stream. It's worse than you could ever imagine. Yeah, dude, I would never act that way in front of my dad. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I don't know, dude. Just out of respect for my parents, I would never fucking go mask off like that in front of them. You know, even if I was, like, completely fucked in the head and miserable and actually wanted to, you know, bridge max or some shit like that, like, I would never fucking do that shit in front of them. Just out of respect and love. Like, that's just crazy, man. I don't know. I would never let them see me like that, even if I was really going through it.
I can't afford this shit!
Dude, he refuses to get a prostitute, so it's not Christian. It's like, yeah, and gooning over every woman you see on the internet is. God, I want to come all over that fucking face. Like, okay, bro. Yeah, that's real Christ-like. What a LARP, bro. What a LARP.
I can't afford this shit!
Holy shit, dude. Look at my team. 0.4 was the highest KD outside of me, man. That's crazy. Holy shit. Let's see. SNK Nostalgia with the 2. I finished watching Lioness episode, Dog Stabbed. I'm not familiar with Lioness. I don't really watch too much TV, to be honest, so it's out of my depth. In Construct's Workshop with the 2, I disc Gears 5. What's your opinion on game? Oh, the gameplay of Gears 5 is fine. I mean, you know, other than the enemies, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the gameplay of Gears 5 is not the issue. The pacing and story and characters are the issue with Gears 5. But the gameplay for Gears 4 and 5 has been consistently good, I will say. But it's pretty much just a copy of Gears 3, which, you know, was fantastic. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2. My father passed and taught U.S. Marines before. That's cool, man. Very nice. Definitely left a legacy then, so very cool. But yeah, I just couldn't imagine behaving that way in front of my dad, bro. Like, you know, I have too much respect for my parents to ever let them see me fucking melt down like that. You know, even if I do, like, in theory, I don't. But let's say in theory, I'm like Raymond and I just fucking hate my life. I have nothing to live for. I'm miserable at all times. Like, I would never fucking let my parents know that shit because, you know, my parents actually gave a shit about me. They tried to do their best for me, and just out of, like, a, you know, respect towards them, I would never let them see me like that. Because I don't want their last thought, you know, God forbid, to be that, you know, I hate the life that they gave me, you know? Like, that's just really fucked up. So, it's one of those things that you just don't really ever tell your parents. That, you know, every aspect of your life is shit and you'd rather be dead. Like, that's just fucking crazy, man. So, you know, I don't want that to be even an inkling in their head. If that's like the last thing they hear.
All right,
from me or
awesome.
something,
Thanks,
or
nigga.
even
All
one
right.
of the last things they hear. So, I don't know, dude. That's just wild to me. See, Games Journs with the 5. Up at 1 a.m. this morning for work. I'm ready to Raymond Neat Max. Nice, man. You know, if only life was as easy as Raymond's, of sitting on his fucking ass and begging for super chats while LARPing as a blue-collar champion. That shit will never not be funny to me. The blue-collar champion that went to art school and literally fucking did nothing except excel jobs and now begs for money on fucking Kick. Yeah, dude, you're a real blue-collar champ. You're the everyman's man. You know what it's like to break your back in physical labor. Oh, my Shiver amiibos are out for delivery, guys. There we go. It's time to recoup some capital. The Shiver amiibos are reselling on eBay. Last time I checked, for 50 bucks a piece. I bought a bunch of them for 18. So it's time to get a nice, easy double up. No, Shiver from Splatgoon Raiders. The blue squid chick that everybody's gooning over on Twitter.
I can't afford this shit!
So, yeah, I got, I think 12 of them for like 19 something after tax. And they're worth about $45 to $50 on eBay, so after fees, I should clear about 36 bucks, so almost a double up on them. Yep, the jar posting with the Shiver amiibo is already in full swing. I need to get that King DDD Kirby Air Ride amiibo. That thing looks sick as fuck. I saw it the other day. I'm like, damn, that actually looks pretty cool. I kind of want one. It can be the official start of my amiibo collecting. I wanted the Shiver amiibo, but it was sold out everywhere. Yep, that's why I grabbed some. If you go on VGP or PNP Games, usually they have them in stock. Just an FYI. They usually sell out of shit slower because it's a small retailer, but they ship, you know, pretty much everywhere, and their pricing is incredibly competitive, so. But yeah, Video Games Plus is the website, or PNP Games. So check there. I think they actually have them in stock still. I wish there was a Mario Kart Peach amiibo, but there's not. One for me and one for my jar. Oh wait, that means they're both for me.
All right, awesome. Thanks, nigga. All right.
I can't afford this shit!
Too many fakers using the Christian name as a shield against criticism since the 2010s. Typical Gen Zs who don't understand shit as usual. Well, yeah, it's an easy shield, bro. It's like, are you questioning my faith, bro? But yeah. Yeah, it's a common occurrence, using your religion as a shield. And SNK nostalgia with the 2. I hate the far leftists. Me too, man. Fuck them. And VTubing enthusiasts with the 5. Would you rather have a son who's really into VTubers and anime and goes to conventions where he drank foot juice from cosplayers, or a slutty daughter? Aerith the Queen with the 2. I like buying my stuff on eBay. PK is a brony. Yeah, eBay's got good deals, so sometimes at least. And Fluffle Nugget with the 2. Shiver's hips are going to make pedo monoliths arise. Well, I don't know if I would consider them monoliths, but, you know, maybe a standing stone of the smaller variety. But yeah, I guess so, man. Get the fucking Stonehenge of, you know, pedos. Yeah, I think it says a lot about society, guys, that we can't even do like our ancestors did and find a big-ass rock and stand it up straight. You know, why don't we do stuff like that anymore? It'd be kind of cool, you know? Just get a big-ass rock, dig a hole in the ground, put the rock in the hole, and then all of a sudden you have a 30-foot tall monolith. That in 700 years, people will be like, how did this get here? Who buried this rock?
I can't afford this shit!
SNK nostalgia with the 2. Bring back nationalism. Agreed, man. We need it back in full force. State-mandated nationalism, too. Of the national variety. Maybe socially observed. Roll.
I can't afford this shit!
I'm supposed to protect your smile? What am I, an anime protagonist?
All right, awesome. Thanks, nigga. All right.
SNK nostalgia with the 2 Griff on your own time. The Sandlot oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, I've never seen it though. Yeah, I can probably check it out. VTubing enthusiast with a 5. What if the son was conventionally attractive, has sex, and goes to orgies at these conventions? Would you still choose the slutty dot? So you're basically asking, do I want a weeb, simp, man whore, or do I want a literal slutty dot? Like, again, yeah, I'd probably pick the daughter, bro. There's a huge leap between being a slut and being a literal fucking anime simp who gets railed at orgies by, you know, some fucking Asian mid with a strap on. Never thought I'd meet someone who hasn't seen The Sandlot, childhood club. I've just never really watched a lot of movies, to be honest. So, I'm not really a movie watcher. My, I guess, consumption of movies has been pretty limited over time. Shrek in any Minion movie? Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, but here's the problem, bro. Your conditions include the son being basically a NEET, because only NEETs watch VTubers. Most likely, you know, not much going for him in life. On top of that, you said he drinks foot juice, which I know what that is. It's where fucking simp-ass dudes literally suck, like, soda off the toes of these Asian mid cosplayers. So he has a fucking degenerate foot fetish, so probably a fucking porn addict. On top of that, he's a weeb. And then also, you're saying that he's basically a man whore who goes to fucking degenerate anime-themed orgies. Like, that is so much worse than like having a daughter that likes having sex. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, there are very different levels to what you're asking. A girl who likes getting fucked, or a son that is a total anime degenerate who has sex at fucking orgies and is some simp cuck who sucks, you know, liquid off of Asian mids' feet. Like, yeah, no, yeah, that's not even like a fair comparison. It's terrible. A slut daughter is not anywhere near as bad as what you just described with that. It doesn't matter if you're getting laid. If you're still a total degen, like, at that point, it doesn't matter. What, your legacy is how many fucking, you know, 5 out of 10 Asians' feet you put in your fucking mouth? The different flavors of soda you tasted off of their little toe? Like, yeah, no, that's disgusting. How can you be both a simp cuck and someone with an incredibly active Dude, cucks literally have active sex lives. Like, do you know what a cock is? Like, cocks enjoy watching other people have sex in front of them. That is their sex life. And also, you can be a simp and get laid. Being a simp has nothing to do with being an incel. So those are two different things. Simps get laid all the fucking time. Like, dude, I see simp dudes all the fucking time. Like, you'll see, like, a conventionally attractive white guy walking down the street with his overweight 5'2" quirk chungarino Asian girlfriend. And it's like, yeah, he's probably getting laid, but he's a fucking massive simp, bro. He could do way better, but, you know, he's pussy whipped by some fucking mongoloid creature. So... there are simps that get laid all the time. That has nothing to do with being an incel. So again, like, the situation you're describing is basically, do you want a daughter that has a lot of sex, or do you want a son that has some of the most degenerate sexual fantasies and participates in depraved sexual acts. Like, yeah, I would rather just have the daughter who likes to get laid. Like, sorry. It's not really a hard fucking comparison. You know, a son that spends all of his time watching, you know, ugly Asian women pretend to be Chinese cartoons. Or, you know, a daughter that, you know... I don't know, man. It's not really a great comparison. Let's see, SNK Nostalgia with the 2 Weeb list time for life data centers. Yeah, dude, the data center LARP is funny as fuck. I saw, what was it today? Oh, the voice actress from Xenoblade 2 for Morag, I think her name is. I don't remember. But, yeah, all these fucking retards were freaking out because she used AI art in, like, an image. And it's like, dude, holy fuck, man. These AI purists are, like, literal fucking subhuman. Not that we know each other really well or anything, but do you think I'm a degenerate? If you're drinking fucking liquid off of random women's feet at an anime convention, yes, that is degenerate as fuck, bro. I've seen the videos of that. It's disgusting. And they all share the same foot juice, too. Like, you're drinking after 10 different people went into the same pool. So... I've seen the videos of that shit, so yeah, that is degen as fuck. I mean, a foot fetish in general is pretty degenerate, but yeah, drinking liquid off of a stranger's feet after 50 plus other dudes is pretty wild. It's like the same dudes who pay the female cosplayers to stomp on their balls. Like, they lay on the ground and then, you know, pay the chicks to stomp on their dick in order to get a video or image. Like, it's fucking... yeah, nah. That shit's depraved, bro. Yeah, look into what goes on at anime conventions and furry conventions, and they're almost identical. And SNK Nostalgia, the 2, is it legal to use an FN MG249 across 8? I have no clue, man. That's out of my depth, but I guess as long as it's not full auto. Yeah, an M249 saw, dude. It's a cool gun. That's what I used to use in Battlefield back in the... Or no, was it Medal of Honor, actually? It might not have been Battlefield. I forgot what game it was I used the M249 saw in. Alright, we'll get through these really quick. I gotta go, though, soon. I just want to remind everyone, this is what Juan watches in his free time. Millennial-coded cartoon slop, because, you know, it's the best way to express himself.
Well, it's definitely one of the corniest things going on the internet right now. If you don't know by now, scalpers are pretty much people who just mass buy items and just resell them. And they would just get their hands on majority of the stock, so nobody else was able to buy it at the regular price. So I guess people, if they wanted the item, they'd be forced to go to them and they get a crazy margin off it. If you really think about it, it's pretty lame. But one of the main things that gets scalped that I've even talked about before is Pokemon cards. Got people fighting tooth and nail at machines, trying to like shove each other for packs. I'm good, bro.
Costco Pokemon card fight.
Yeah, this is subhuman behavior. So, people who line up for shit like this, losers.
Yo, this is barbaric. Like, imagine going to Walmart and seeing this shit just casually. And some people will deadass throw hands over boxes, over a goddamn Pokemon tin. Pokemon...
Yeah, I'm not poor enough to line up for fucking Pokemon cards, bro. Like, fuck that.
Scalper crashes out after cutting in line and being denied checkout.
There's been a line there. Alright.
Are these 3 seconds already say enough? I know it's not really a crash out, quote unquote. He's not screaming at the top of his lungs, but I mean, the crash out's proven. Like, yo, you are a grown ass man acting like a spoiled kid. Like, why do we have grown dudes in public acting like absolute babies? I guarantee you there were actual children in that line that
Wait till you see sports fans
acted more mature than this guy. I mean, let that sink in. In the middle of Target, on a tantrum, dude's in his like mid-30s, late 30s, shit sad. And then Buddy just started playing Ultimate Frisbee out of nowhere. I don't know, he could have hit somebody in the head with that thing for all I know. Pokemon scalpers set up shop right outside of Target.
This has to be some of the most insane scalping I've ever seen in my life. So I'm at Target in the card section. Obviously, there is no Pokemon. It's all taken up.
Yo, this shit would be so depressing to look at. Like, I know my days of collecting Reshiram EX tins and Kyogre EX tins, I would be sad, man. Like, the amount of funds I would have to save up is crazy because of these goddamn scalpers, hypothetically. Now, I'm sure scalping existed when I was 7 years old, but it was not this big of a problem.
We take 5 steps outside. We get here and look at these prices.
They really have a whole ass store outside of Target. They bought the store damn near. That's probably all the stock Target had right there. They really just opened up a brand new business for the shit. This is genuinely sad. And the EV box is going for $160. I don't know if that's like insane. I don't really like keep an eye on that stuff. But if
It's actually pretty cheap.
I had to have that much motion when I was 7 years old, bro, yeah, forget it, man. I would have never collected Pokemon cards in the first place. But Pokemon cards aren't the only item being scalped in 2026. Damn near everything is being scalped. Even AP swatches? I don't even know what this is, bro. Like, you know...
Yeah, this was a massive L for people. They lost a shitload of money on these.
The rabbit hole in the clock, that's what this shit reminds me of. Now, when I looked up AP swatch online, $786.
Actually, PK, no. 50 is not MSRP. It's 60 now.
On StockX for the green one. $786 for that. Personally, for me, that's a $5 purchase. But it's AP. Everybody wants ice, so they want it. And just like every other item that has any demand, scalpers just lose their mind over them. And same deal. They waited in line at the stores probably like 2, 3 a.m. They bought them, and they're now reselling them. $2,000 on eBay. $2,000! $895 for each swatch. To each their own, I guess. But bro, who is genuinely buying this for $895?
It's like 1 or 3 guys there with a whole bag of swatches. Like, I don't know how they got 20 pieces, but they have 20 pieces there, and they're selling it for around 2 to 3K.
I heard people are actually trying to go on carousel, trying to hire people to come and queue for them. I don't think many of them are here for the watch itself. I think it's just for the resale value.
Yeah, they really sold that shit out. And I guess some of them are going for 2, 3K. You could just see the pure disappointment in these guys' faces, realizing that these bum-ass scalpers just ran off with like hundreds of these, just ready to sell them for 10x the price. Dudes will really just scalp anything. Like, honestly, the store's got to put a limit on how many people can buy. If there was a limit, this probably wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't be seeing listings for $9,000, $11,000 for like a whole bundle of them. I don't know if that's like the genuine price or if scalpers have just driven up the price that much. But of course, it's AP. The base price is already going to be insane. Now, this is something I
Shit, I need that AP on my wrist.
never expected to be scalped. Concert tickets. If I can't see my goats in person.
How did you not think concert tickets would be scalped? Concert tickets have been scalped since concerts have been a thing.
Listen, because somebody bought out all the tickets with a bot and is now reselling them for 2K, I'm gonna be pissed. But basically, some scalpers use bots to buy tickets, and they'll somehow just claim a bunch of them. And there's even been sightings where there's a whole row or like group of seats with nobody in them because it was all claimed by a scalper. Supposedly, I don't know.
Empty seats behind us. People did move into some of those seats from other sections, but either way, there were definitely spaces across the stadium for more Swifties.
I don't know, but it's a little bit suspicious that this trend is on the rise and that there's just coincidentally nobody in those seats at all. Just that entire group is missing. Now, what do you think these new margins are looking like? How greedy do you think the scalpers got with these? Well, now some of them, I'm just gonna play the clip. So the caption reads, "You mean to tell me I lost this ticket to a scalper?" 2 grand! 2 grand! What the fuck? $2,000. That is a fresh PC right there. High quality PC for some concert tickets.
Not
because
anymore.
some bum wanted to scalp it. I mean, that seat isn't cheap to be fair to begin with, but it could have been 1K instead of 2K. That price difference is crazy though. I'm not really sure what that seat would originally go for, but it's definitely not 2K. That shit's the price of a World Cup ticket. Let that sink in.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. As far as I'll go to scalp something is if I can't order it online, I don't bother. Like these motherfuckers who line up days in advance or, you know, sit there and camp out in their fucking camping chair or, you know, start punching each other over fucking Pokemon. But, like, I can't be bothered to do that. Like, that's poor people activities. That is poor people activities right there. So, I don't even use bots. So... You know, I'm more of a investor because I just buy stuff at market price and then hold on to it for several years. So, I'm not even doing the quick flip shit, generally speaking. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2 scalpers are not human. A lot of them are, I would definitely say subhuman, bro. Like, if you're punching another person over fucking cardboard, yeah.
Trader Joe's tote bags. Yeah, like deadass, one of those reusable grocery bags. I don't even know how this has the hype in the first place to
Well, look at Starbucks cups. Those also resell.
be scalped. This just proves what I said earlier. Dudes will really
Woman moment.
scalp anything. I can't imagine that being hyped up. It has to be the most overhyped product of 2026. Just to give you an idea how hyped this thing is, I found this shit scrolling on my For You page last night. This line went on forever. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. It's all over this grocery tote bag. How is this even scalped in the first place? But yeah, we got dudes on here posting like this. You become a TJ scalper because sneakers are dead. All right, there's proof that they actually exist, bro.
Dude, sneakerheads have to be some of the gayest motherfuckers on planet Earth. Hey, yo, bro, this the shoe that LeBron wore. I need to pay $2 grand for that.
People actually scalp these things, and people actually want these things. A double whammy of shit. Yo, apparently this guy has like 100K in his hand because on eBay, some of them are 15 grand, a set of 4. How are they going for that much? Here's another listing for 4,500 for 4 of them. Never did I think a grocery bag would 1 have hype or 2 be scalped. At that point, just consider me getting a rep. Even if it's like completely boof off Sheen and it says Ray Joe's, give it to me.
Yeah, sneakerheads had to be some of the gayest motherfuckers on planet Earth. Like, collecting shoes? That's for women, bro.
Now, even
collect some real shit like trading cards, dog.
If it's down to the wire, another sad thing scalpers will do. Even if there is a literal child trying to get a product that just dropped alongside them, they're gonna try and beat them to the product. Scalpers will just get their hands on anything that's trending and they don't care who's in the way. They would rather scalp the entire stock at Target than give up one to the kid behind them. They don't care.
Low trust society and its consequences.
Damn, son.
I thought about this. Get going, bro.
That's crazy.
Wow, that is pathetic. How fucked up in the head do you have to be? She really did all this bullshit running full speed. She was grabbing him off the ground, hoarding it like an animal, trying to get the last remaining scraps of food. That's really how she was moving, was it not? This is really just barbaric type of behavior.
Skill issue, kid. Nice try.
Here's the whole box.
I know we like good body mentality.
Yeah, that works. Perfect. Thank you so much. Jesus. Hit it. Crazy.
And for all that Sonic speed walking and running, she was just told there's a limit of 2 per person. And then she's like,
It didn't say. Actually, it did say.
like, just put them back. And that's how the kid got one in the end. At least the kid got one in the end, but just look at the behavior beforehand. At least Target did something about it, because if they didn't, the kid would have got nothing. I remember back in the day, there was a rare Skylander that just popped in GameStop. It was called like Camo. I deadass put those instructional baseball league skills to the test there and did a baseball slide to the shelf. If 8-year-old me was moving like that, imagine now. People gotta compete with more and more scalpers every day. Even products from 2025 were scalped, such as like Labubus and the Bear Cup. Like anything that goes viral, best believe.
Dude, anybody that bought fucking Labubus should be lobotomized.
Scalpers will be there to capitalize, even if it's trending for like a few months. But if you want to hear about that Labubu and Bear Cup hype, watch this video right here about consumerism. Go watch it now.
Labubu equals lobotomy. SNK nostalgia with the 2. This is what poor people do. Pathetic. Yeah, dude, it is. This is like a poor person activity. It is a poor person activity. Like, I'm not poor enough to line up at fucking Target and bum rush the card section. Like, holy fuck, man. Like, sorry, I have a job. Like, that's crazy. Fuck that, man. So, plus, I prefer buying graded cards anyway, so I just hoard those.
Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a video talking about, Sony's response to the backlash. So Sony finally, for the first time, over a month, they have responded to the backlash of going all digital. But I will get straight to the point and I'll tell you guys that they basically told us to go screw ourselves. That's essentially what they did. They didn't say
based
that they're going to reverse course in any way, and they said that they're not even worried about losing players because they make plenty of money anyways. That is what they said. I'll read the statements down below here, but interpret that how you want, but that's how I'm basically looking at it, how they said it. But anyways, let's read the article here. This is from Vice. Sony finally admits to PlayStation players angry about PS5 physical discs ending. Sony has finally responded to PS5 physical disc backlash, confirming it will move forward with its digital-only plans in 2028. After weeks of silence, Sony has finally responded to PlayStation players angry about its decision to end PS5 physical disc production in 2028. During a recent investor meeting, a PlayStation executive said the company is moving forward with its plans, despite complaints from players. Sony is also not worried about physical collectors moving to PC. PlayStation responds to PS5 physical disc backlash.
Yeah, exactly. Why would physical collectors move to P? Again, yeah, dude, I'm gonna protest this platform going digital only by moving over to a platform that's already digital only and has been for the past 20 years. That'll teach Sony that digital is not the future.
Been a month since Sony announced it's ending physical disc production for both PS5 and PS6 in 2028. Despite the controversial decision sparking massive backlash and calls for boycotts online, PlayStation remained silent for weeks and refused to acknowledge it. However, Sony finally broke its silence and responded to players at a recent investor meeting. Yup, we knew it. Is that at the investor meeting, eventually they were going to talk about it. Investors were going to ask them about it. During a July 31st Q&A session with shareholders, Sony CFO Lin Tao addressed physical disc backlash. Her response: PlayStation is moving forward with its plans to end physical disc anyways, and doesn't believe the backlash will impact sales. Ugh. Sony stated that so far it has not seen any negative impact on sales following the announcement, and does not expect this to change when it takes effect. The company believes the future is digital for virtually all
Marvel rivals
forms of media. They reiterated that they will proceed cautiously with their plans. Why would you proceed cautiously with your plans if you're seeing what the backlash is right here? Is literally, don't you have...
Because the Japanese use words like that.
Enough money as a company is you make physical and digital, and that way you keep everyone happy that way.
That's just how the Japanese speak. Oh my god, we're gonna fucking micro-analyze a translation from Japanese to... Dude, the Japanese use words like that basically to, soften the blow.
The fact that there are people who buy only digital and they're defending Sony in this, saying, oh, it's not a big deal, most sales are digital, well, tell that to people who buy physical. People like buying, physical. The people who buy digital...
Not enough for it to be, relevant in the big 26.
If you were told you can only buy physical, you'd be pissed, too. So literally, it's just look at it from their perspective, too. But this is just stupid. This is dumb. And, let's keep reading here. Sony CFO said that, then said that PlayStation is still assessing how to address feedback from players who are unhappy with the decision. Oh my god, let's read that again. Sony CFO then said that PlayStation is still assessing how to address feedback from players who are unhappy with the decision. Sony... This is the stupidest one. I know I'm reading this a third time, guys, just read it. Sony CFO then said PlayStation is still assessing how to address feedback from players who are unhappy with the decision. The company said it's still figuring out how to respond to the feedback. Oh my god. You want to know how to respond to the feedback? Allow people to buy discs. That's what you do. It's like we're trying to assess how to address feedback from players who are unhappy with the decision.
Why is this guy wearing a fucking hockey mask? Is he like, what's that, Jason, I think, right? Jason Voorhees? Is he Jason Voorhees maxing?
Well, the answer is obvious. Sell discs. Oh my god. Considering many Sony players are organizing a worldwide boycott of all PlayStation products from August 23rd to August 30th, the company might want to figure that out sooner than later. However, according to Sony, it doesn't believe the negative feedback will impact sales. We might participate in that, so I might just stream, GTA 4 and Xbox that week. We might just do that when that's going to be a thing. And look, about this is one thing that really pisses me off about this decision, is that it's one thing if Sony basically said that we are ending all physical, disc production for our exclusives. So if it's like PlayStation, only games and stuff like that, and they were ending physical disc production for that, then okay, yeah, it would still be annoying, but at least it's just Sony who's doing it. It's the fact that Sony is stopping third-party, developers, other developers who are not, PlayStation exclusive, to end disc production. That's what's so stupid. So if there's a company that's making, a game for both Xbox and PlayStation, it's not a PlayStation exclusive, and they want to make a disc for their game, they can't do it, because they have to, I know they have to have the copyright and all the information from Sony in order to basically produce PS5 disc. And if Sony does not give them that copyright and that permission, they cannot produce even their own game on the PS5 disc. They can only sell it digitally. So we know there are developers out there, and there are some developers who have spoken out against this. Even Rockstar, I think it was Sam Houser who actually spoke out against this recently, or it might have been Dan, but it was one of the Houser brothers who actually said that he would still like to see, physical, disc production. So it's too stupid that they're even stopping,
Well, maybe he shouldn't have left Rockstar.
Third-party people from being able to, create discs. And the main reason for this is also because it's cheaper, they don't have to produce discs, but also because they basically have like a monopoly on the sales. Because think about it this way, is you could, buy the...
It's not that they have a monopoly on the sales. They already have a monopoly on the sales of physical discs for their own console. What it comes down to is they get a larger share of the actual proceeds of the sale. They don't have to give Target, Walmart, Best Buy $20 per unit. So they get to keep $20 per $70 sale versus $10. And that's what it comes down to. You have to sell 2 physical copies for every digital copy for Sony to get the same amount of money off of the sale of a third-party game. And publishers love this because they get $30 for a physical game sale, and now they're getting $50 for a digital one. So, again, it comes down to money, like everything else.
Game new, or you could buy the game used. And when you buy a game used, on Amazon, even eBay, you can even get the game sometimes 50% off of what it's selling in the store. Without that, with everything being digital, it's not like you can buy a digital game, and maybe people will be selling the codes online, but it's still going to be way more expensive because it's not going to be used. So somebody's going to buy the codes and then to sell it, but then why would people do that too? It's just... With physical copies, you have the advantages, is that you can trade it with your friends, you can sell it, you can give it away to your friends, you can let your friends borrow it, you have all these options with physical media. With digital, you can't do it. It's not like you can let your friend borrow your digital game. And what concerns me so much is that Xbox hasn't really responded to this. That's what really concerns me. I know that Xbox wants to do a thing where, you put a disc in and then you can download it digitally. I know that's like a new system that they're trying to roll out, but if Xbox really wants to get at Sony for this, really get at Sony, is that when they are announcing the next, Xbox, this is their time to shine. This is this is that opening that Xbox has been looking for. And if the people at marketing at Xbox miss this, then, they really deserve to fail at this point. They missed this. But basically, just announce next Xbox and say, we are including a disc drive. Just say that. They don't even have to mention Sony or PlayStation. Everybody will know what they're making fun of. And if the next Xbox has a disc drive, that will seriously consider making me switch to Xbox. It seriously would at that.
Xbox isn't going to have a disc drive.
Point. Another interesting...
This has already been a known thing for like the past 2 years.
Takeaway from the investor...
The best-selling Xbox this generation does not have a disc drive.
Meeting is that Sony revealed why it decided to announce the end of physical discs this far ahead of the PS6. In another response, Lin Tao explained that Sony wanted to give retailers time to prepare for its move towards a completely digital-only platform. So, like I said earlier, is that the problem here is that Sony's also telling other, companies that are not, PlayStation owned, that are not PlayStation exclusive, that they can't make discs anymore. They confirmed the announcement to end disc production was made early to communicate with retailers. Sony's working with them to do codes and packages. The subject has already been discussed with North American retailers, and now the same will happen in other regions. That is so stupid. Is imagine going to the store to just literally just getting like an actual physical copy of a game. Like, just thinking about it, like, here's Fallout New Vegas, one of my all-time favorite PS3 games, and you see how nice the cover is on this game. It actually had a very unique cover with this a sliding part on it here, a little paper frame that we had on here. But like imagine, back in the day, you'd go to the store and get this, and there wouldn't be a disc inside of it. These still have manuals. They did at least back on the PS3 back in the day. But just imagine that like a game would not have wouldn't have the disc. This suggests that Sony plans to replace at least some physical games with download codes sold inside retail packages. While these products would remain available in stores, players would no longer receive a physical disc that they could lend, resell, or preserve. And that's exactly what it's about, is that Sony wants to monopolize on it. Sony isn't worried about physical players moving to PC. Now, this part is really scummy. Finally, Sony argued that it isn't worried about losing physical disc players to PC because consoles are significantly cheaper. Ooh, ouch. For now, Sony appears committed to ending PlayStation physical disc production in 2028, despite the growing backlash. Although the company says it's still considering how to address feedback, its latest comments make it clear that reversing the decision is not currently part of the plan. So they're saying is that, oh, our gamers will not leave us for PC because consoles are cheaper. Consoles are
This could have been a short, bro.
cheaper. Well, you know, you can make the argument that maybe even PC is cheaper at this point, because you could buy a really...
No, it is not. Dude, that is such a Yeah, go buy your $650 PC, bro. Let's see that amazing computer you get for $650.
good graphics card, you know, or buy like a gaming laptop, and at that point...
A gaming laptop? Come on, dude. Even a Steam Deck is like almost $1,000 at this point. What are we doing here?
You know, you might invest some money into it, but over time, you know, you're not going to need to buy the next console, because the good graphics card that you buy now will be able to, you know, run the same games that, you know, next-gen consoles will run. And when they're saying that...
No, dude, come on. Dude, this is such a LARP.
Significantly cheaper. Well, let's see how you react, Sony. Let's see exactly how you react if Xbox goes discs. Because I really hope Xbox goes discs. I really hope
they're not going to.
They're not stupid, and I really hope that they have smart people in marketing.
Xbox is not stupid, and you think they have smart people in marketing. Oy vey. I got some news for you, bud.
I know that. That will be able to look at this and see this is our opening. This is literally our opening right now to, you know, screw PlayStation. So that is what I'll say about this Xbox that's opening right now, but we'll see how Sony reacts if Xbox says that they're keeping discs. But the only thing that's gonna really change Sony's mind at this point, guys, is money. That's really the only thing that's gonna change their mind. If people can complain, you know, and I'm all for it, I'm all for the, you know, getting pissed at Sony, talking about this online, but ultimately it's ultimately money. And if Sony basically sees that they're losing a lot of, you know, sales to Xbox, for example, or a lot of people are moving to PC much more than they anticipated, that's when they will reverse. With players now organizing boycotts and voicing concerns about game ownership, preservation, and resale, the controvery is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. So Sony may not expect the backlash to hurt PlayStation sales, but the real twist will come when its digital only plans take effect in 2028. Oh man. So what we're gonna have to see, but I'm telling you, this is not going away. There's probably gonna be more news coming up with this, and this backlash is not stopping because it's been a month and the backlash is still strong. People every single time Sony tweets.
No, it's not. The backlash is dying out. Dude, this guy has 1 million subs and only got 18,000 views on this video. This is not like some huge pressing topic anymore. Sorry.
Alright folks, we do indeed have very thorough answers and responses from PlayStation, from Sony rather, Sony's CFO of all things, that directly acknowledges the disc controversy because this comes from their financial report.
I'm sure this will be a completely different video. I mean, to be fair, this dude was pretty non-biased in his initial video on it, so I don't know.
This came out overnight, so I knew this was not going to be something that we would be able to comfortably fit into LTPS, which is still live today, LTPS 737. But let's go over the recent fiscal year 2026 Q1 report, which runs to June 30th. So it's that last 3 months ending June 30th. So first up, some broad things about the PlayStation business. Sony sold 1.6 million PS5s for the quarter. That's down from 2.5 million year over year, but PS5 hardware is now at 95.3 million worldwide. So on a launch line basis, PS4 was at 100 million units at this time, so the gap is indeed widening even more. Notably, hardware revenue is only down by 9.8%, which was softened by the steep price increases, so that's the big deal there, is that we know PS5 is getting very, very expensive, so they're softening that a little bit. The digital software ratio was 82%, slightly down from the last quarter and year over year. Monthly active users was 125 million, slightly up year over year, but down from the last 2 quarters. And going into the games and network services, overall sales benchmark here, sales are essentially flat, so primary negative impact is a decrease in sales of hardware due to a decrease in unit sales. For operating income, this saw a 37% increase driven by US tariff refunds and exchange rates. A negative impact was an increase in costs and investments for next-generation hardware. For the fiscal year 26 forecast, this was revised up for both sales and operating income. So a notable mention here is one negative impact is that it's due to the adjustment of the fiscal year 26 first-party games roadmap. So FY26 does run to the end of March 2027, so this would imply that one first-party game might have been moved out of that time frame. Not entirely sure which game that would be. The only 2 I can think of would be Until Dawn 2, and also Scars of Cosmora, which is considered a PlayStation Studio first-party title. It's still an external studio, but it's a first-party game, so I would think it's either that or Until Dawn 2. But either way, Sony does include a very...
Wait, if it's a first-party game, how is it an external studio? That's not first-party. That's third-party. Or second-party, whatever the hell the term... That's not first-party.
Very important line here that says they have secured enough memory necessary to meet their projected sales volume for the fiscal year, and there's no change to their plans for hardware profitability. It should be similar to the previous fiscal year. Now, this does imply, well, one, it says directly, hey, we have enough memory, we can make the PS5s that we were planning on making and selling up to March 27. Also mentioning hardware profitability, that implies that we should not be seeing any PS5 price increases, or at least significant price increases. It's just, it's tough to take their word for it when that was very similar language 2 or 3 quarters ago, and then the following month or something like that, PS5 prices went up. So they're saying right now that the numbers are what they are, we've secured the console supply, we should be good. So really tough to say if that will stay intact moving forward, but that is at least what they're disclosing right now. Going into the investor and the reporter Q&A portion. So the CFO, Lin Tao, did address the disc issues. So one reporter with Nikkei, they asked about the user backlash, why Sony made this decision, was it for next gen, improving margins, what is their response? Now this is via translation, but Lin responded with, and I quote here, "So on this point, we announced that January 2028 onwards, we will no longer be manufacturing game discs. So 1.5 years ahead. So we made this announcement at this time. There are various reasons we made this decision. The biggest being that the digitalization of content overall has been progressing. That's the big factor. It's not just for PlayStation, but for all kinds of contents, digitalization is progressing. And so when we think about the future and we put in a lot of thought, time, and we cautiously consider this, and we came to this conclusion, and we're going to cautiously move this forward. And to this decision, we have received various opinions, and people have strong views, and we understand the community has put forth those views to us. Games are loved by many people. It's a form of entertainment that's loved by people, and it's connected to people's fond memories, in many cases. And so we understand those emotions. We want to consider that, and in the future digital ecosystem, how do we engage the gamers is something we would like to explore." End quote. So right after this, another reporter asked if they've seen an impact or are expecting any impact due to ending disc production. Lin Tao said, and I quote here, "At this point in time, we are not seeing any impact on our business as of now, but going forward about the content sales, I think a large part is already digitized. And therefore, as a result of the discontinuation of discs, we don't see that there will be any negative
I mean, if you just look at their financials for the past quarter, it was like 1.2 billion was in digital game revenue, and only 120 million was in physical game revenue. So we're talking about less than 10% of game sale revenue being from physical games. Like, it is far less significant than people think. So if digital games are out earning physical 10 to 1, why the fuck would Sony care about physical media? Like, that's just basic fucking math, man. That's just basic math at that point.
On our business. However, as I already said, the users, the players have attachments, and we have to think about how to respond to that feedback. Now, another investor asked about Sony's relationship with the retailers, and also how will they differentiate the console from PC now that it will be all digital. So Lin Tao responded with, and I quote, "For the last 30 years, we've been selling PlayStation, and retail partners have always been important to us. And with the completion of disc production, we communicated this at an early stage so that we have enough time to be able to listen to various partners' voices, and in North America, this has already happened. But without discs in the package, there's a code included. That's how they sell in North America. And about the retailers, there are regional characteristics, and for each regional partner, we try to have thorough dialogue so that we end up in a win-win situation. For differentiation for PC, we don't feel that the disc is a factor to differentiate from PC. For PC, there are certain ways to play with PC as a new user. Our strength is the curated content and the gaming environment being stable, and high-end gaming PCs, our product..."
Check this out, guys. This just got deposited in my PSA vault. Isn't that nice? It doesn't show up, but there's like this cool hollow pattern on these cards where it's like a chocobo track across the card. So you see like little foot. You can kind of see it right here. Like right there, but it's all over the card. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this just got deposited in my vault. One of the few Magic cards I own, but yeah, I do like this Aerith card.
Is more affordable. We don't feel the disc itself is a strong factor for differentiation, so going forward, we can coexist with PC games." End quote. So a lot going on there. Here's the thing, right? There's nothing even remotely surprising about any of this. So it's already happening left and right, these clips being shared. Here's the quote from Lin. They're going forward with it. Yeah, I mean, I think that was expected. This is not the place where they would announce a reversal. This is not the place where they would, you know, say anything that is more consumer-oriented. I mean, this is the most sterile environment possible, where it's going to be a very soft, buttoned-up PR answer, a lot of ums and ahs, and there's, you know, translation at play that kind of makes it a little bit weird. So, like, the PC quote was kind of strange, going back and forth to re-listen. So this is not really the place where we were going to get the kind of answer that people ideally want. So I can't sit here and say, like, oh, I'm blown away, I can't believe they're doing this, right? This is them going to be pretty firm on, at least initially, saying, yes, we're seeing not much impact. We know people are vocal about it. We're going to be cautious about it. We're going to listen to feedback. That should have went without saying. And, you know, clearly as far as any sort of impact to the business. I mean, look, we were saying this, or at least I was weeks ago, you know, we're not fooling anybody. Things like petitions or any sort of blackout week, there is still one planned for later in August. And here's the thing, I still encourage people to do it, right? You know, out of 120 million plus active users, they have spike days, they have slow days. Like, if I'm being honest, I would be very hard pressed to say that it would look any different from a slow day for them. But it's, you know, I don't want to sit here and say that.
Yeah, this shit's so gay, man. I'm glad he's calling this out.
That stuff isn't important. It is. People should be voting with their wallet, their time, their energy, their dollars. I mean, so I fully understand it, and I still think it's something people should get behind. But having said that, that's what sucks about the disc thing, is that it is small, it's a low portion of the business, it's something that they think they can exit out of, and it probably won't do much of anything for them, and that's true. It probably won't. It's a very tough thing to argue because it's, you know, I just think it makes sense to still stick around because it's for your most dedicated fans, the hardcore enthusiast audience, and for video games as a medium, it's a shame that consoles were the last place that had a consistent release cadence of games on physical media, and it lives and dies by the platform holders. We don't have third-party manufacturers, so that's why you still have movies and TV shows being printed, music still getting printed in CD form and also vinyl, right? You have third-party manufacturers. We don't have that in the game space, and that's tragic. You know, the onus was on PlayStation to keep this going, and it is, I don't care what anybody says, it is absolutely tragic and the wrong decision.
Well, PlayStation, you know, by extension Sony, ended their, like, movie Blu-ray production a long time ago. So Sony hasn't been manufacturing Blu-rays outside of PlayStation for a very long time at this point. So this was kind of a, you know, I mean, the writing's been on the wall forever with this shit. Ever since they announced a digital-only console, everyone should have gotten the, you know, little signal in the back of their head like, hey, physical games are, you know, on their way out. The days are numbered at this point, but yeah, this has been a long time coming.
To be doing this, despite all the numbers saying that, hey, we're doing absolutely fine, we're making plenty of money. And to that point, they are making so much money. That is what's also demoralizing about this report, is that the recent forecast that they have for fiscal year 2026, if they achieve that, it will be record-breaking for the video game industry. 660 billion yen, which includes tariff refunds, positive exchange rates, GTA 6. I mean, PlayStation is doing unbelievably well. PS5 unit sales are down a little bit, but I mean, that's just like what sucks about the whole thing, right? Is that we have a very successful PlayStation. You know, I wish we could pull some analogies from PlayStation 3 and say, look at all this money they're losing, look at how great the competition is, and, you know, they're going to be deeply motivated to do super consumer-friendly things. That's just not where we are, right? They're doing really, really well. And so it's the point I tend to make, too, is that it's still on them to make compelling hardware, to make compelling services and products. They're still competing with actually more than ever before because screen time is so valuable, right? That's a huge problem for them. But right now, they're still doing pretty okay, you know? I would hope that there's even more pressure going into next gen, and conceivably there will be, because PlayStation 6 will likely be a very expensive piece of kit. So there's still a lot of unknowns as far as the transitionary period and how they plan on navigating that. But in the here and now, something like discs are kind of, if anything, a short-sighted decision to maybe sustain some margins and keep it looking just ever so slightly better. But I still think that's the wrong call. Keep the noise going, folks. I think it's still worth yelling about. I don't care. I think it's the wrong decision, and I hope PlayStation does reconsider, like they're implying here.
They won't.
I don't think this was the place where we were going to get a meaningful answer, but you never know. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. I'll see you all in the next video. You take it easy.
I will say he has probably the most measured take of the pro disc crowd, generally speaking. Oh yeah, $1,000 PS6 will sell very easily, bro. You gotta remember, the PS5 was like $2,000 when it came out, and people were buying that shit all day long on eBay. So... that's the unfortunate truth, is most people are not as price sensitive as they would have you believe. And SNK Nostalgia with the 2, play more Sega Saturn, you savages. I can safely say I have never played Sega Saturn. I've never played on any Sega console, ever. I've never held a Genesis controller, a Dreamcast controller, a Saturn controller. 9. That was like right before my time, so... I actually have the Genesis controller that Nintendo released, but I've never actually taken it out of the box. What do you guys think about this? Just curious.
I can't afford this shit! I can't afford this shit!
Terrible scan quality. Why? That's good scan quality. I'm debating picking one of these up. Let's see, SNK nostalgia with the 2 Sega Saturn Guardians of Guardian Heroes gameplay. Alright, I can't watch a lot because I gotta go in like probably less than 10 minutes, but yeah, we can check it out. Can check out some. I gotta head to the gym soon. And then I gotta sign into work, dude. No, play as Nicole, dude. The heckin' anime girl. Let's see, Aerith the Queen with the 2, don't forget my video. Oh, what was it? The Dead or Alive thing. Alright, yeah, let me find it real quick. Wage cuck? Oh well. It's better than not having a job. So, call me a wage cuck all you will, but at least I'm employed. I'm not begging on the internet for a living. Hey, yeah, exactly. It's better than waiting for the Pokemon vending machine to get filled. make money sitting on your... Hey, that's how everybody should be trying to get, but I'm not there yet, so... Eventually, I'll make money by sitting on my ass, but not today. And not with my very expensive hobby. Cards will burn through money like nothing else, let me tell you. Take it from me. I wish aircraft maintenance is that easy. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, this does look pretty cool, honestly. I don't know how difficult it is, but it does look pretty good. It's not difficult. Okay, that's cool. I know a lot of these old beat 'em ups can be pretty challenging, so. Yeah, that does look pretty good, honestly. Yeah, Dragon's Crown I'm aware of, especially because of the wizard chick. But yeah. Alright, we'll watch this real quick and then I gotta hop off. I guess this is the right one. Yeah, there we go. The early 2000s video quality. Let's see, SNK Nostalgia with the 2 Sega Saturn game is $1,400 now. Buy it. Is that it? Only $1,400? I don't know. I'd maybe try that out. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I'd maybe emulate it. It did look pretty good. But anyway, guys, I do need to hop off. I'm going to go run to the gym real quick, and then I got to get to work. So have a wonderful Monday, everybody. And yeah, hopefully everyone has a great week. And I'll talk to everybody later tonight. Peace out, guys.